Hello, everyone. We are here today with Susan to talk about immigrant life in Canada. So, welcome, Susan.
Thank you, Maraiza. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here today. Please tell us about your immigrant journey. Where are you originally from, and how was your history?
So, originally from Switzerland, of English parents.
Mm-hmm.
Often people are like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." um, Traveled a lot with my husband. Lived in São Paulo for 2 years, and then we came to Canada 10 years ago, so 2015.
Wow.
So,
And and what did you decide to live in Canada?
my husband's Canadian, so we met abroad.
Ah,
Yeah, we met
very
abroad.
good.
And
Mhm,
when we traveled a lot, we had our children. We were living in Switzerland, then we moved to
mhm,
England, and I don't know, we just felt that Canada would be a good place for a family, right?
mhm, yes.
There's the space, there's nature, the schooling system is slightly different than in Europe. I
Mhm,
feels it kind of gives you more, it's less restrained, right? In
okay.
a lot of countries, in Switzerland, in England, children have to choose quite early on, like what they want to study. Do they want to specialize? Do they want to do this? And this always
Mhm,
threw my husband. He was like, "That's
mhm,
strange, because in Canada you don't do that." I was like, "You don't?"
uh-huh.
He was like, "No." So there are a lot of things. Like, can you put everything together? And we're like,
Mhm,
Canada would be a good place. So yeah,
mhm.
we moved over here and love it. It took time to adjust, I have to admit.
Yes, exactly.
Right? I think like anybody who moves anywhere, it's not easy. There are days that are great and you love it, and then there are days you think, what am I doing here? I think
Mhm,
until it starts to feel like home,
yes,
right? And it
exactly.
takes time. You
Yeah.
know that, right? You can't rush it. You can't make it happen. I think it just happens over time.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah.
I know because my first place was in Nova Scotia. Now I'm in Ontario, so I know about move to another country and also to move between
Provinces.
provinces. Yes,
It's like
it's
moving countries.
like a new country. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it because we spent 2 years in BC on
Mm-hmm.
Friday before we moved to Ottawa. And it felt like we were moving again in countries because we had to do all our paperwork again. We had to reapply for our driver's licenses. Our health cards are different. And I was like, aren't we still in Canada? Is this not supposed to be the same country? And the schooling system's different. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Oh.
how much pain do we have to go through to move again? But it's worth it, right? You just have to grit your teeth and just get through the admin of things and go, okay, it will be worth it, right? When all this is said and done, it is worth it. And it is, like, I think Canada has a lot to offer. It's maybe not for everybody, right? But I think if you're open to it, there's a lot here.
Yes. And what do you usually do for like to develop the feeling of the belonging feeling, to connect with the community?
Oh my gosh. I think that's what I found very hard during the pandemic is we didn't know many people here,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? So that sense of belonging, we didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that was odd because I'm like, well, we're locked up in our house. We'd met a few people. I had met some people. They were friends, but not like good friends yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that was hard. And I think it was after the pandemic, as we were coming out of it, I really wanted to invest in friendships, wanted to kind of build that sense of, okay, now I know where I'm driving in Ottawa. I know how to get to places without Google Maps every single time.
Exactly.
You know, and it's knowing the stores to go to for things, and it's, you know, and even just figuring that out sometimes. I'm like, where do I go? Like Canadian Tire at the beginning for me was, I couldn't understand the store. I'm like, what? You sell everything, but yet you, at the beginning, it was like you sell everything and you sell nothing, right?
Mhm.
That's how and then I'm like, I went there a few more times. And I really like it. And I love going to Canadian Tire,
Yes, me as well.
right? But so I think it's understanding, like, even just like we said, how the shops work, right?
Yes.
Um, for me in Switzerland, in England, if you do your grocery shopping, generally speaking, you can buy, if you need some wine or some beer, you can buy it at the same place.
Uh-huh.
The idea of having to go to a separate store to buy my wine at the beginning, I was like, this is so strange.
Exactly.
You know, just those little things, and you start to get used to it slowly. And I think it's a combination of things. It's getting involved in your local community.
Yes.
You know, using the local services, using your library, going to local coffee shops, going to local stores, getting to know the people there, they get to know you, making friends, right? Super important. And I think it just comes with time, but I think the thing is you have to put yourself out there.
Yes. Walk around know the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know the stores, the little kind of things out of the way, maybe, or
Uh-huh.
you know, and I think be curious. And yeah,
Yes.
you have to put yourself out there, right? People are not going to come and fetch you.
Yes.
He's going to go, oh, you're new, come and join me. You're like, I'm not. You don't even know
Exactly.
you're here.
Uh, and also, I believe to engage in some volunteer work, some volunteer opportunities. I think it's a good way also to know people and understand also the accent, because in Canada we have a lot of accents, so it's good to learn how to understand.
It
Yes.
is. Yeah. And so I think, and then once you have that, then you have that feeling of, okay, I belong. And one of the things I love now, which I didn't have until really we lived here, because with my husband, we never lived more than like 3 years in one place,
Uh-huh.
is you go out and I know you see somebody that you know in the grocery store, or you cross somebody walking along the street and you're like, oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. Right. That I'm like, okay, that means I'm part of this community, right?
Yeah.
I'm no longer the outsider. And I think that's,
Uh-huh.
for me, I love it. Like if I come back and I've seen somebody I know, I'm like, oh, you know, that's really cool. I know, it's just nice. And again, maybe people that have lived here all their life, for them, it's just normal.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Mhm.
But for me, I really love it. That's really nice. It's,
Mhm.
yeah, and it's being part of that community, right?
Uh-huh. Yes. And how about your professional, your your business? What is your life now?
My life now is very different business-wise, because I was a nurse prior to living here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew that getting the equivalencies, getting the recognition here was going to be really difficult. I did try, but when I looked at the whole process and I spoke to several associations, and they're like, it would essentially be easier just to train again. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd already started my work as a nutritionist, so I just kind of really leaned into that and kind of decided that that's what I would do, right? Instead of trying to nurse and trying to get my documents recognized, and it's, you know, every time it's $1,000 for an exam, and you know, and if you don't pass it, you have to pay it again, and the system is different, and it's just not easy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Even yesterday at the clinic that I work at now, there was a lady working at the front desk, and she's a qualified doctor from, I think it was Lebanon,
Mm-hmm.
fully fluent, excellent English, and she's doing work as a kind of sort of nurse stroke receptionist. And I'm like, that's the one thing I do find is frustrating in the medical profession, is there are so many barriers to perfectly qualified people coming in. Like, the process is so complicated. I don't think it needs to be that complicated. There could be easier ways of doing it, rather than putting up the barriers that we have. I mean, a friend of mine in BC, she was a qualified doctor for elderly people, like for mental health. She was like a gerontologist. I don't think you can say that anymore, but I mean, that's what she was. In the UK, they moved over here, and she had to resit the exam that you sit when you qualify as a doctor. So she's had like 30 years of experience in her specialized field, but she had to sit the exam of a doctor who's just qualifying. And it's a completely different, it is a different field that she worked in. So she had to study all of that again. I was like, oh my God, just so that she could practice over here. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So that's why I decided to just stick with my nutrition and get into that. And I mean, I can still use, you know, everything that I've learned isn't wasted. It's really, right? But it's, at least I get to choose, you know, my hours. I'm working at a local gym. I'm working in a doctor's office. So it gives me a really good variety of clients, which is fun, right? And it's been interesting because, you know, you look at how people eat here, generally speaking, and how people eat in different parts of the world, and there's things I didn't expect.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, and congrats, you have now a new way as a nutritionist.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's fun. I love it. And it's helping people just in a different way, right? I'm helping them before they get really ill. I'm helping them understand how their body works. I'm helping them understand what changes they can do. And it doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't have to be crazy, but just sharing with them that information and helping them understand that, you know, we can do a lot for ourselves. I think we sometimes think, oh, well, the medical system is there to sort of fix me. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, actually, we can do a lot of that. You know, it just takes time. Again, you have to be patient, right?
Yes.
But it's sort of understanding the value of food in our everyday, how it impacts us, what things make us feel good, what things don't make us feel as good. And then, like, you know, but it's having that knowledge, it's talking about these kinds of things. And that's what I really like, because it's so different to how we grew up eating and living in Switzerland, right? I'm like, this is very different. Maybe the same as with you, I don't know.
Yes, it's the same. For me, it's very different. So yeah. And I know you also have a YouTube channel with your partner.
Yes.
About life nuggets.
That's right, we do.
Yes, tell about, please.
Oh my goodness, that came about because we felt that after the pandemic, there was like a lack of community. And although I wasn't a huge fan of doing things online during the pandemic, I'm doing the opposite now. But it's about building, I think, a community of people talking about, oh my gosh, everyday issues that people come up against. Patricia's a life coach. She works a lot with family dynamics. So, you know, people that have difficult family situations, or they're trying to understand, you know, maybe there's something that happened in the past and they can't quite put their finger on it, but it's affecting like what's happening now or how they're feeling now. So, you know, every time we get together, we talk a lot and we talk about so many different things. And I'm like, we just need to share this and help people understand it's not just them, right? Because I'm like, if we're talking about it, other people must feel similar, right? Maybe not exactly the same, but you know, sort of similar to what you're doing, right, with your channel.
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
So it was really just about sharing things that we come up against. They can be lighter topics, they can be a bit more serious, but we wanted to kind of have that blend and just let people know it's okay to feel how you're feeling and to question things, and maybe, as I said, have a laugh about certain topics, and other topics is like,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, a bit more serious.
Yes. It's interesting to watch your videos together. So yeah, the talks are amazing. I watch also.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, you put it out, right? And you don't know who, I think that's the fun of YouTube, right? And learning YouTube, oh my gosh, that was such a learning curve. I'm like, what is this? You must have had the same. I'm like, whoa, and like learning all that tech stuff, you're like, really? There's no school. YouTube is a
Yes,
school. You go to school on YouTube, right?
yes, exactly. We are always learn something, and many things change uh, in between time and time. So we are always learn something.
Yeah. And I think that's what I'm really enjoying is, growing up, there was no YouTube, there was really no internet. And so access to learning and information was very much, you have to go to college, you have to go to a school to learn, or you have to do a course like correspondence course, right? That was essentially, or you'd get a book out of the library, but that was limited, right?
Yes,
Now you want to learn about something, I mean, it's so easy,
yes.
right? And I find that sometimes it's too much information for me. Like, I'm like, well, I need a break. I need a time out from tech. But it's that kind of learning, and like, okay, now we know how to set up a YouTube channel. Was it a skill I thought I'd ever learn? No. But is it a skill I've enjoyed? Yes, because it's made me think about other things, and I think appreciate other people's channels, right?
Mhm.
Like the work that actually goes into it,
Exactly. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. When I saw other YouTube channels, I just subscribe because I know how hard it is to manage and everything. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think it gives, at the beginning, you think that, or I did anyway, that things that were technological, like Instagram, all that kind of stuff, I'm like, I didn't think it was easy, but I didn't realize the amount of steps and the amount of thought that actually goes into it, right? And having not grown up with it, I find, I don't know, it takes me like 10 times longer than somebody who's like 10 years younger, because they have that edge, right? They have had it just that bit longer.
Uh-huh.
And I see the difference, but it doesn't bother me. I just have to set more time aside to achieve the same result, right? But then the more you do it, the
Yes.
and the quicker it becomes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to practice and practice and practice
Oh
and
my
practice.
So yesterday, I'm sitting in my kitchen for like 15 minutes trying to get a reel up, because I was like, but if I do this then, but then I got to come back and change. Oh, it's like such a pain. And then, yeah, but I'm like, okay, the more you do it, I have to just be patient, right? And then I
Yeah,
see the younger people and they're like, "Tuk, tuk, tuk," and it's done. I'm like, this
exactly.
is
Yeah, and they
right?
also, yes, and they also, younger people usually on the cell phone. So I need my computer,
Yes,
bigger screen.
that is so true. I can't. That's the one thing. I went on Instagram this morning on my laptop because I thought, oh, maybe I can do it from here. But there's certain things you can't do on Instagram from your laptop. You have to do it from your phone, because
Mm-hmm.
the layout's not the same, and it won't
Yes.
allow you to
Mm-hmm.
do the same thing. And that really annoys me. I'm like,
Yes.
guys, some of us need a bigger we need a bigger screen. It's hard to do on a little screen. No,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
It's so fun. Yeah. But we are learning, and we
Yeah,
are moving.
this is it. We're moving more slowly, maybe. trying to, I wouldn't say it's even a question of keeping up, because I've realized, I think I realized like 4 or 5 years ago, I will not be able to keep up like somebody who's, 20, 30 years younger, just because it goes so fast. But I'm like, at least if I have a baseline, I might stand a chance of understanding what's going on when I'm much older. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. But and it's just fun, right? I like being on social media now, but there are days I'm really happy just to like put my phone down and just leave it alone.
You need a break.
Yeah, I can't. And I was having this conversation with my daughter because we were talking about like using social media and doing things on her phone. And she said, yeah, but people that are younger, it's a constant tool, right? They're using it to do everything on it. I can't, right? There's certain things I find easier to do on my laptop. I would rather do on my laptop than on my phone. It's just more comfortable, right? Doing it that way. I could, but I just so I'd rather wait till I get home and do it on a nice big screen. Right? Everything.
Exactly. And do you have some project that you are interested to invite people to engage in your projects, how your plans for the future? So
yeah, thank you for asking. Actually, actually, I've created, in the process of creating an online course for mindfulness and nutrition.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that we're going to be launching just after Thanksgiving, because we thought we're not going to do it before Thanksgiving. That makes no sense. And it's going to be a 6-week course with workbooks. It's going to be myself and a mindfulness coach, a lady from Brazil, funny enough. Used to be a doctor, but now is coaching. And we met and we realized that the way that we work and how we do things is very similar. Like, the nutrition aspect, the mindfulness, being aware of your body. And we just thought, why not put a course together to help people link the two, to help them understand that the mind-body connection, right? And you do a lot of that too, right? So we're in the process of like just tidying up the actual coursework, and then, as I said, we'll be launching it, I think, beginning of September for people to register, and it'll be 6 weeks, an hour a week. Where we're going to be she'll be doing like a small mindfulness exercise, and then each week there's like a topic of discussion, and we'll be covering like both aspects, right? So helping people understand different aspects of mindfulness and how that relates to nutrition and how we eat and all of that. So so that should be fun. Never done that before, but again, right, learning. I'm like, oh my gosh, a lot of tech to learn in that one, but we're getting there.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, to connect mindfulness and good food and good habits. So it's interesting.
It's a lot about how we see food, how we perceive food, our relationship with it, what it does, how we see it, how it works with us. And so we were just like, we were talking, we have to put this together because they just go together so well.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's amazing.
So
so share the links and every information I will write in the video description. So
thank you. I don't have everything yet, but
as
I said, we're finishing everything off hopefully for we are finishing it for end of August, to be like promoting it and putting it out to people, I think early September. So when I have the information, I'll share it with you.
Okay. Great. Okay. Thank you, Susan. So for your talk today and sharing about your experience here. So thank you. And do you have final thoughts to share?
Oh my gosh, final thoughts to share. I don't know, I think just be curious, be open. Try not to be too hard on other, like sometimes we get a very much a reaction from other people, and I think especially with what's going on now is just trying to take a step back and go, we've no idea what's going on with that other person. They may have been angry, hurt by something else that has absolutely nothing to do with us. Because I think especially with social media, people take things very personally and very quickly.
Exactly.
And I think sometimes just learning to slow down and go, okay, like, we've no idea what's going on. I'm not saying it makes the behavior necessarily acceptable, but I think we have a tendency sometimes to be very reactive to certain things and to immediately go, oh, they spoke to me like this, and I'm going to. And I'm learning. I'm trying to like, okay, let's just see what's happened, take a step back, and just like let things settle before reacting.
Exactly. And also, one opportunity to engage in the mindfulness program to learn how to be more calm and not so reactive.
This is it. And I think because we tend to think that, I don't know if we tend to, but there's one thing that I've learned sort of working with her, because we did a lot of work together with each other first to see like how we could make this work. And I think there's often this sort of perception that mindfulness means that, uncomfortable situations, difficult situations, like you're trying to say, well, that's not okay. It is, because things do happen. It's sort of part learning how to manage them and be aware of them. And okay, how do I want to work my way through this really uncomfortable situation? Like, I'm not liking it. It's not fun. But what is the best option that I have to move through this? So I think people often think mindfulness is all like, and, everything's fine. And it's absolutely nothing to do with that, actually. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but it's much more than just that. And I think that's what's fun about this course, is like really getting into that.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, not only sit and try to clean the mind.
Yeah.
It's not, it's very different.
It is very different. So yeah, I think for me that would be it, is really just, I know, just taking that step back and letting things be instead of always reacting.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you so much for having me, Maraiza. This has been so much fun. I'm glad we connected.
Yeah, thank you.